What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good? It's night right about the hood.
Oh dear God, I'm already eating and drinking. Look a damn mess, just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What is up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, people? What's up? It's me, L Teddy 27, and I am back for yet another review. This is going to be our review for Clickbait. It is season 1. It is episode 3. And it is entitled The Wife. The life of the wife was ended by the knife. Now listen, y'all know I've been speculating the whole time. The wife. So, okay, before I get started, snacks of the day. Still eating on the Nerds gummy clusters. Gummies in the middle, Nerds on the outside. So good, so good. And I went and bought me, don't judge me, because I done got addicted to my jam jar. And I'm almost done with this. This is like my 4th bottle of jam jar this week. Judge your mama, don't judge me. I've had a rough week. So, and it's only Wednesday. I think since like Saturday. This is my 4th bottle since Saturday or something like that. But I'm, go buy stock in jam jar because I keep drinking jam jar. And I'm almost finished this bottle today. I had it with dinner. And dinner was good. And the jam jar was even better with it. So we start off. The wife is having this flashback from what we find out. I thought it was like a wedding reception, but we find out it's her and Nick's anniversary party, and that's what we start off with. And we'll see this flashback of this party over and over and over. Now, bear in mind, this party happened 6 months ago in the storyline. Okay, so Sophie's at the police station. She's the detectives tell her, we found your husband's body. He's dead. She's still way too calm for me. I told y'all I kept suspecting what's going on with the wife. Some about her and the oldest son don't sit well with me. Now I'm leaning toward oldest son and sister. Anyway. The detectives want her to identify the black man. Remember I told you Nick got in a fight with the black man at the little bar, and the thing on the back of the black man's shirt was similar to the thing on the back of this man's shirt she was talking to on her social media. Come to find out, the black man's name is Curtis Hamilton. And Curtis Hamilton used to work down to the school where Sophie works. And so Sophie says no, because they asked her, was there anything between Curtis and Sophie was like, no, he and I are just friends and co-workers. That's it. But I could tell it was more than that. She was lying. I could tell she was lying. She goes home and has to tell her sons and her mama and Nick's mom that Nick dead. So she tell them, and they have a whole meltdown and stuff like you would expect. It was sad, all of that stuff. So then Pia arrives at the police station, because she wanted to see her brother's body. She was like, I need to see my brother. Detective Amiri comes out and said, hey, boom, your husband, not your husband, your brother's body is a part of an investigation. And you can't go see him. He's at the coroner's office. And she get all upset. Oh, you can't let me see my brother, fill in the blanks. So, back at Sophie and Nick's house, or what used to be Nick's house, Sophie tells her mom that the police are suspecting Curtis Hamilton. Now, come to find out, we find out now that Sophie did have an affair with Curtis Hamilton. Matter of fact, the mom knows as well. And so she said to the mom that she told him that Curtis was simply just a friend and a co-worker. We all at this point know that's a lie. The mom said that's all you need to tell them at this point. They're going to think the worst of you anyway. So then, Sophie says if Curtis did do it, then it is her fault that Nick died. So Sophie is beating herself up at this point. She is besides herself beating herself up. Sophie then starts reminiscing about this anniversary party they had 6 months ago again. And then she texts Curtis and says, excuse me, I need to talk to you. And in my mind, I'm like, Now that's got to be the dumbest decision ever. Who am I, honey? So she goes over to Curtis' house and she asks him about the fight that he had with Nick. And Curtis tried to lie and say, no, he hit me first, or he ambushed me, or he came after me, or whatever it was. Um, she don't believe him because she saw the surveillance tape, and she was like, listen, um, have you seen Nick since that time? And he was like, are you accusing me of killing him? And she was like, listen, they showed me the surveillance tape, boo. Let it go, honey. Let it go. Anyway, so she tells him that the police showed her the surveillance tape, the video, and that they want to know whether there's any connection. Are you following me or whatever? Next thing you know, knock, 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 knock. It's Oakland PD. Wow, Sophie is there. I told you it was stupid. So they bust in there. They got warrants for Curtis to seize all his electronics and stuff like that. He tries to resist. Baby, they handcuff him and say, you going to jail. So they take him to jail so they can question him. Detective Amiri comes in and is like, basically like the rest of us, bitch, why the fuck are you here? And why did you lie to us about your relationship with this man? And he was like, matter of fact, you need to come back down to the station so we can question you some more. A mess. Down to the police station. Some lady come in and she says that she's Sophie's not wife, Lord, that she's Sophie's lawyer. So we find out that it was after the anniversary party that we keep seeing these flashbacks of that Sophie tells Nick about Curtis. And they gave her the third degree, okay? They gave her the Spanish Inquisition. They were interrogating her like nobody's business. And so she came right out and listened. She told him, that's when she told him about Curtis. And then there was just question after question after question. She was answering them, but eventually her lawyer was like, stop, it's 3 a.m., enough. Because they was really starting to go into way too much detail that she really shouldn't have answered. But the lawyer stops them, they start to walk out. They tell Sophie that there's evidence on Curtis's devices that he's been spying on Nick through social media or following him around on social media or whatever. So they really are pointing at Curtis. Sophie goes home. Pia out in the backyard, just up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. Where you been? Girl, why you worried about where I've been? Fuck you, Pia. Anyway, she was like, I had to go for a walk. ... She go upstairs. Oh, Pia tells them, well, tomorrow they're having this big memorial at the university for him, and they want the whole family to come and ... So she says, okay, goes in the house, does more crying, reminiscing, go to sleep. The next morning, Ethan on social media watching the same little YouTube girl who's got video of them taking Curtis down to the police department. But come to find out that Ethan says, oh, I know him. He used to work at our school. And so Pia starts to connect some dots because she ain't got nothing better to do with her life. Conveniently. I told you now I'm thinking Pia and the oldest son. The oldest son I've been thinking the whole time, him and the mama. But now I think it's Pia and the oldest son. So Pia pulls Sophie into another room and says, listen, were you down at the police station last night, bitch? Did they question you last night or? Because I need to know. And she admits it to it. She said, is this about that Curtis guy? Are you and him fucking? And Sophie comes right out and says, yep, we was fucking. It wasn't like that, this, that, and the third. Pia loses it like she always does. And she said that if Curtis did tell him, you are responsible. I was like, oh. Ethan right outside the door hears everything. And he storms out of the house with his skateboard. Sophie tries to follow him in her car. Now, here's my question. My question is, if he was on a skateboard and she was in a car, why was it so hard for her to find him? He couldn't have got that far on a skateboard when she's in a car. Anyway, Sophie goes to the skating park with not Nick, but Ethan goes all the time. She's, showing his picture on her phone. Anybody see my son? I'm looking for my son. Ain't nobody see him. I forgot to mention, Sophie had noticed there was this lady that was outside her house. It wasn't one of the reporters or journalists or whatever. She was just parked across the street. She was not a journalist. She didn't have no microphone, no camera, no nothing. She was just like out there, almost like she was stalking. So she sees this lady as she's leaving the skate park, and she rolls up to her. The lady tries to get in her car and drive off, and she stops the lady, get the lady to stop. Why are you following me? Are you spying on me? Da. You some weirdo. Child. The lady get out the car. My name is Emma Beasley. You don't know me, and I'm sad that I have to tell you this way. Me and your husband had a whole ass relationship. She's like, what, bitch, you lying? You just want something on cloud right now, girl. You just trying to be seen. Girl, I don't believe you. She said it is. We met on this app called, it was two something. Two smitten. I think it was two smitten or something like that. But it had the number 2. So she was like, I don't believe you. She was like, yes. And we met on there and we had a whole relationship. And I hate that you have to find out this way. His name was Danny Walters on there. And that's how we met. And she said they met in LA 6 months ago, which was around the time of the anniversary dinner. Right, when Sophie told her told Nick all about her and Curtis. Now, she let the lady leave and goes off on the lady, but don't get any evidence. And my mom was like, you could have told her to show you the app or show you some text messages or show you some pictures or something. Girl, we need receipts. Because you can't be telling me you sleeping with my husband who dead and you ain't got no receipts. That's what she was supposed to get, receipts. She get in her car, she starts, having whole, like, emotional issues, like, after everything she's going through. Pia calls her and tells her that Ethan is at her house. So she go to Pia's house to get Ethan. Listen, Sophie tells Ethan he gotta come home. Baby, I was prepared to get on this goddamn camera and drag Pia for everything she was worth. If anything came out her mouth, except for, yeah, you need to go home with your mama. Thank God. That's what she said, because I was ready to drag her. Anyway, Sophie then, when Ethan goes out to the car, Sophie tells Pia all about the Emma chicken and what she said, and Pia don't believe it either. Pia was like, well, what's the name of the app? We can look it up. Pull up the app, look up the Danny Walters. It's deactivated. Pia said, don't worry, I got a friend. He can see if he can pull that information. All right. Sophie goes home with Ethan. When she gets home, it's time for them to get ready for the memorial. So Ethan goes to get ready. Kai finishes get ready. Sophie goes to get ready. Ruby watching the news. The news story is all about Curtis and how they had taken him in for questioning, but they released him because he wasn't involved. So he was released. He was ready to release. But they got Sophie's picture and name all over the news. So Ruby talks to Sophie before they leave and says, listen, you've been too hard on yourself. Just take a breather. Don't be so hard on yourself. We're going to get through this. So they go to this memorial. So when they get to this memorial, the little secretary lady that worked there with Nick, she was real sad and she hugged Sophie or whatnot. So then she said, one of the volleyball players wanted to talk to you. So the volleyball girl, tall little volleyball girl says, oh, I need to tell you some things about Nick. And you could tell she wasn't about to tell her nothing nice. You could tell she was about to tell her some shit she probably ain't want to hear. And right before she could tell Sophie, another coach came and said, no, let's go, let's get started, and like broke it up and didn't let the girl. And tried to, brush it off and say, no, ain't no secrets around here, or nobody's secrets is, we don't tell secrets. Basically saying, everybody keep quiet in these parts. So, but you could tell she was about to tell Sophie something. So then, right before the program starts, Vince comes, the little boy, the computer boy who work at the hospital, who be at the hospital that Pia work where he comes. That's who she got to look up this deactivated account. She looks up and he gives her the information. She looks at it. We can't see it, but we can see she's shocked. She goes there and they start the program. So the man is talking about Nick in the program and glowing terms. Everybody love him. He was great. All of these glowing, wonderful things. Nick. Oh yes. Baby, I guess Mama got caught up in the moment, Miss Sophie, and then, just just gets up and storms out toward the back as if like maybe she's going to the bathroom to get herself together because she's about to break down. Maybe she gets toward the back of the crowd and this white woman says to her, "You ought to be ashamed of yourself." Baby, when I tell you, Sophie turned to her, snatched that one out of her hand and threw that one in the lady's face. Girl, I was like, oh my God. So the whole family go running back, and she said, she yells, "Go to hell," to the white lady. So the whole family come running back to help her, and they was like, let's go home, let's go home, let's go home. They go home. Well, after they get home, she has a glass of wine and sits down with Pia. Pia says, you may not, this don't have nothing to do with you. I got some bad information. I did find that, Nick did have an account. She showed her the stuff, and it sure was Nick under Danny Walters, and it shows that the account was created 2 years ago, which means that it was well before Sophie even got with Curtis. So because we saw when they redid the scene or flashback to the scene where Sophie tells Nick, and he was mad at first, and then he was like, "Well, I forgive you." Meanwhile, back at the ranch, he been cheating on her left, right, and sideways all the time. Let me find out that the straight community is just as into the dating apps as the gay community. Let me find out. Y'all put that in the comments because I know this on this show. They talk about how you straights be riding on the dating apps and y'all be real serial about it. Is y'all as serial about it as we are on the outside of the girls be on the dating apps? You hear me? Anyway, so one of the pictures Sophie realizes a picture that they took together when they were over in San Francisco. It looked like he had done photoshopped her out of the picture. And she just had like this breakdown, and she sits on the floor and she's hugging the picture because she knows everything she thought about her husband is crumbling down around her. And after that, it goes off. Girl. So it looked like it might, I'm not saying definitively it's not the wife, but it looked like it might not be the wife. I still got my eyes on that oldest son. And now I think the oldest son might be in cahoots with Pia. Watch Pia. Something right. Either Pia, you know who else scared me? That mother. The mother scared me too. But I don't think the mother has it in her to do that to her son. But we'll see that. But that son, I don't trust the oldest son Ethan. I don't trust Ethan. Anyway, we'll be back with episode 4. So let me know what y'all think. Let's get in the comment section about what we saw. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safe. Y'all out.